boys when they go out there and play at Wembley?
I think they've been doing absolutely fantastic. And you know what I've got to say to everyone out there? It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. It's coming home for the first time in 60 years, however long it's been, since 1966.
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. So, at the start of this video, you man saw Tyson Fury turning up on his Instagram. Football coming home. Coming home. Coming home. Coming home. We're giving it all that he was. 100% confirmed. You've seen it. No doubt. I don't know about you yet, but what we've heard from the C-19 is what we've heard from the C-19, especially the Tyson Scary strain, the Tyson Scary variant, extremely potent, extremely contaminating, yeah? It messes with your throat. People have breathing complications. Did you hear any breathing complications or wheezing in his voice? Now, we know that Tyson Fury's voice is somewhat husk, but even with the huskiness, I didn't hear no breathing complications. He was chanting. Yeah? Chanting. Football, coming, giving it all that. 100%. That there is strenuous. On the lungs. No doubt. He was chanting, giggling, laughing, bouncing off the walls. Yeah? No doubt. What part of that video was C-19? RYB, this video is a week old. Oops. This video came out, and you can see it on his Twitter. This came out on the 8th. The same damn day they lied to us about his test results. So, you gotta ask yourself now. The video came out on the 8th, obviously celebrating England's win. But, even if you want to say it's the 7th, let's do the maths here. 100% he would have had to have been sick then, because the test came out on Thursday afternoon. England played on Wednesday night, yeah? Thursday afternoon, 12 hours pretty much after, not 12 hours, 15 hours after England played on Wednesday night. The public knew about it. Does that make sense? For us man to know, us man probably knows, I'd like to think, it takes a good half a day or more maybe. Who knows? For this information to get out. And the way that Top Rank were playing it out and stretching it out, they could have, God knows how long they knew for. Bottom line. So, England played Wednesday night. Tyson Fury was, for bouncing off the walls. Charged up. Listen, he looks fresh. He looked hella fresh. Never mind how he looks. He sound fresh. How about that? His lungs are firing on all cylinders. No doubt. So Mr. Big Lungs, Mr. Full of Lungs and Full of Life, bouncing off the walls on Wednesday night. Thursday, 12 hours later, 15 hours later, they're then telling us, he's super sick. He's so sick, we've got to cancel until some unknown date in the future, 4 months later. What? Ooh, this must be some magical sickness then. Like, this must be the kind of sickness that I don't understand. How? It don't make no sense. He weren't displaying no symptoms, no sign of anything. He weren't showing nothing. And it can't work both ways, in as much as, but YB, he's a carrier. If you're a carrier, you don't need 4 months off. Does that make sense? Again, like I said, you can't have it both ways. YB, he's a carrier, he doesn't suffer from symptoms. What do you need 4 months for then? Innit? Which is it? Either it's super bad and 10 man have got it and it's all touch and go. Life and death. Just like Eddie Hearn was giving it when Billy Ho Saunders got a little bruise. We weren't sure if he was going to make it. We weren't sure if he was going to pull through. Touch and go. If it's touch and go, how is he bouncing off the walls 12 hours before? And that's, again, people need to understand, that's 12 hours before the test, allegedly. I mean, really, this really exposes themselves, truthfully. Because, really, If he's celebrating on Wednesday night, yeah, and then we find out on Thursday afternoon, 15 hours later, realistically, he would have had to have been tested on Wednesday, wouldn't he? Really? For us, man, to find out on Thursday afternoon, he must have been tested on Wednesday. Unless he was tested on Thursday and they ran it out to the press immediately. Does that make sense? Because we found out, categorically, on Thursday afternoon. So for us, man, to find out, it usually takes time, obviously. So if we're finding out on Thursday afternoon, I guess you could have had it on Thursday morning. He had it on Thursday morning and 6 hours later telling the fans. That's not normally how it works though, truthfully. Normally with illness, things like this, it takes a day or two for them to process and to put it out. But either way, whatever way you want to look at it, if he was tested on Wednesday, then they've completely debunked themselves. Because if he was tested on Wednesday, he ain't showing no signs. And to be honest, even if he's tested on Thursday, he ain't showing no signs. They think they're smart because what you'll notice is he's suddenly disappeared from social media all of a sudden. He ain't putting no more stories up. And whatnot. But it's too late because you put the England celebration up. So unless you want me to believe that, YB, the thing is, he was fine on Wednesday night, but it was 12 hours later he got. Don't be silly. That's not how it works. YB, he's bouncing off the walls on Wednesday night, and then 10 hours later he's knocked for 6 and he needs 4 months off. Get serious now. That's not how things work. For you to need a 4-month cancellation, you'd need to be on death's door, literally, knocking on it. You'd need to be like John Fury was when he fought the black skeleton looking ass. Yeah? You'd need to be at the pearly gates. No doubt. You weren't there. We listen, we all saw John Fury versus the skeleton. You weren't there. You were on your back, with your neck clenched, busted all over yourself. Because you was that stiff. Your abdominals was clenching, your nuts was clenching that much. You was just busting all over yourself. You weren't like that. Again, like I said, we've all seen. Let's not Tyson's scary, yeah. Let's not make out we haven't all watched John Fury versus the Black Skeleton. We've seen it. You weren't that. So if you weren't knocking on the pearly gates, why you need 4 months for? Why can't you apply that same level of energy you was using to chant football's coming home to get your ass in the ring on July 24th? That's all the fans want to know. That's all the fans who have booked tickets, who have booked time off work, who have paid money out, who have had to chalk up a big L. All them dons there, all they want to know is, why can't you use that same energy to shout, to chant, to get into the ring on July 24th? So that's all people want to know. Because it can't work. He can't work both ways. Oh well, he's super sick. He needs 4 months, but he was able to bounce off the walls and chant all day. 2 hours before. 2 hours before he was 2 hours before he was positive. He was bouncing off the walls. Which means you ain't sick. Which means you don't need 4 months. Which means get your ass in the ring on July 24th. What you need is a good slap on your head, I reckon. That's what you need. You can tell Tyson Fury's. I don't know who he's been brought up. I'm not sure who he's been brought up by. But listen. Yeah, I don't even know who they are. But they're scary. That's what we do know. John Fury. That's who you've been brought up by. Scary looking ass. Mickey Theo wants him badly. John, stop running from Mickey. And then, it's all adding up now. Tyson really is his dad's son. Scary. Don't want no smoke, but loves to talk. Loves to stay talking, but don't want no problems. Politician. Yeah, Tyson Fury is for sure a politician. He knows how to weasel out of all the different things he don't want to do. And he knows how to do all the things he does want to do. Just like a politician. Politicians know exactly how to get done what they want to do. If they don't want to do it, they ain't doing it. What do you mean? How is Tyson Fury a politician? How does he get to do what he wants to do? Guess what? If he wants to fight a bum, you best believe he'll fight, as I've explained the other day. Guess what? When Tyson Fury wanted to fight 2 bums, he fought them. He fought 2 bums in 2 months. Swear down. He fought one in July and one in September. Back to back. Tight turnaround. But guess what? You know what? That's my new favourite word. Guess what? Guess what? When it comes to AJ and Wilder, you can't get him in there with one of them in 3 years. Literally. By the time he fights Wilder, it will have been about 3 years since the first fight. But yet he'll fight 2 bums in 2 months. 2 bums in 2 months. But AJ and Wilder, you can't get one in 2 years. How about that? Anyway, listen. Tyson Fury, MTK, your script's been debunked again. Your lies are sloppy. You think you're smart. Quickly, log off. Log off social media and lay low. You ain't laid low. I mean, I'm not being funny here. Just look at Tyson Fury's Twitter feed. He was doing the most. He was banging the Twitter. Swear down. I'll show you some pictures. He was banging the Twitter. And what makes it worse is, the announcement came out, on Thursday afternoon. Tyson Fury was tweeting videos out literally after the announcement came out. Because the first announcement said, we're monitoring the situation. That was the first one. That might have been Thursday morning, but early Thursday afternoon for sure. And Tyson Fury was posting, and you can see it on his Twitter, he was retweeting things around then. And it wasn't until, and this is how you know it's fake, it wasn't until, obviously they decided, we don't want to fight Wilder on July 24th, let's pull the plug. That's when he's been silent since. But up until the 8th evening, up until July 8th evening, up until Thursday evening, his feed was litty. His feed looks like a teenager's feed. He was doing the most in his Twitter feed. Reposting, liking, he was just doing way too much for someone who's meant to be that sick. I don't know about you, man, but when I'm sick, when I'm so sick that I need 4 months off, the last thing I want to be doing is all in the video, chanting and retweeting and liking. I'm resting. Tyson Fury doing the most on Twitter and social media. Then, when he was told, or when he decided, you know what, I don't want to fight Deontay Wilder, all of a sudden, all the tweets stopped magically. Everything just stopped dead. That's not how illness works, I'm afraid. You don't stop posting when you know what I'm saying? You don't stop posting when you've decided to cancel the fight. That's not how sickness works. You're either sick and, like for example, if they were smart, 3-4 days before the announcement, Tyson Fury would have gone missing then, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Well, YB, there's no evidence. There's nothing to be shown here because Fury hadn't posted. We hadn't heard from him. In fact, that would kind of give it weight. Well, YB, it was kind of odd. He went missing 3-4 days ago. Maybe it was because he was sick. Not Tyson Fury. Not MTK Ultra. And most people wouldn't even notice this, but when you're coming up against 190 IQ Don, it's not even their fault. They don't know what they don't know. The YB will just catch you lacking. Yeah? Simple as that. No doubt. You man are messy. What you need to really do is reach out and say, listen, YB, we need to hire you as a consultant because you're just seeing things on a different level. You're working on a different level of plane here. Yeah? You're working on another level of plane, no doubt. Because you've clearly pointed out us, man, are hella sloppy. We stay sloppy. And you stay on our neck. Yeah? Here's $500,000 a year to show us how sloppy we are. No, listen, we can talk for sure. We can talk for sure. Because right now, you man looking silly. Looking real sloppy. In the video, and then, we're sick. Not even, only dopey dons believe that. Only slow looking asses believe that. There's not even a bit believable about it. Not even a bit. He was, I don't want to keep going on, but he was, what gets me, what frustrates me is the fact that how he was banging social media. I swear down. He was going in, just banging, licking the social media. And now all of a sudden, we ain't heard from him for 4 days. 3-4 days. He just went missing. But he went missing the minute the announcement came out that the fight's cancelled. Not a day before, not 2 days before. The minute it was cancelled. He was doing interviews with Gareth A. Davis and chanting on the Wednesday. On the Thursday, he was retweeting all the videos from said interview and whatnot. And now he disappears. Now he got nothing to say. The one time, it's the thing I said the other day, the one time people want to hear from him, innit? Think about it. Fury was doing stuff, yeah, people like football, but really for Fury, we want boxing. Your boxing fans have been mugged off Fury. People who wanted to come and support you have been mugged off. That's one thing we do know. I don't care how sick you think. And it's the thing, we know he's lying anyway, but even if he was sick, someone who really cares would say, you know what guys, I'm really sorry. And this shows you again how it's not genuine. Because if he was genuinely sick, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, oh, I'm really sorry guys, but it's just one of them things. But because you're not genuinely sick and it's still a big heist, and that's your character, you don't have no empathy. Because people I know, people who I know who are truly good, nice people, even when they're sick, they still carry a level of guilt for missing something. Does that make sense? Truly good people, even when they have a genuine excuse, they still feel, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they've caused people harm, like Fury has. Fury has categorically caused people harm. Messed people's holidays up. Messed people's money up. Fact. A truly good person, even if sick, would say, you know, I'm real sorry, guy. I'm really sorry to let my fans down, but I'm sick. It's one of them ones. Just got to chalk this one up to the game. Fury, even if he was sick, don't hear from him. Even now he's not sick, don't hear from him. Says it all. But we was here from it. I tell a lie, we do hear from him. He stays active, plugging his merch. Shocking. Someone please explain that to me. Wait there. So, you're sick enough to disappear from social media in the main, but you're not sick enough to keep plugging your merch. That literally sums Tyson Fury up perfectly. He is one of the greediest and most selfish people in the sport of boxing. And the way he's hustled the mental health dons, you might have been done wrong. Because Tyson Fury is surely hanging at the back of you, man. That's for sure. I always knew it was a scam. So Tyson Fury's jeb ain't never gone nowhere near the YB's backside. But for you, man, you mental health dons who sit there saying, oh, Fury's a mental health champion. And oh, yeah, Fury, yeah, it's a real champion. He's a muppet. He's milked you, dons. And whatever he hasn't milked, he's hang out the back of. You best believe that as well. Man's a big, fat, big, goofy fraud. He's not sick. He's not got C-19. He's posted somewhere up and he's just laughing. That's what he's doing right now. Because you don't want to fight Deontay Wilder. That's the start of it, the middle of it, and the end of it. And if you man got any evidence to the contrary, please show it. Because you ain't.